Alright, what is going on, everybody on YouTube? It's me again. What you thought I left? MK the Truth, DODBENT. And as you guys can see, I am back with another sneaker review. If you guys are new to my channel, please, you gotta come on and join the family. Also connect to my Instagram. It is the_truth_MK. Also, ladies and gentlemen, all music is produced by me, DODB, and I use them as background music on this channel. Now today I have a pair of sneakers that I have been waiting for. I have been anticipating for the last few months, and that is the Better With The Time Air Jordan 1 Low Nigel Sylvester. Now I've been waiting for these so much, and they are so good to me. That is correct. I have two pair. Might be picking up another pair. I don't know how I feel yet. I might. Why would I need two when I got something as good as this shoe? Anyway, as you guys can see, here is the box. I'm going to show you guys in-depth details of the sneaker, the box, so forth and so on. So the box has like sort of a vintage take, a little bit of sort of that vintage paint all over the box. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm all for my box being a little bit different, and I like the extra bits and hits onto the shoe. Now when you open this box, you have this little bicycle here with the Nike swoosh. I love it. Give me all the details you can with these price points. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this to the side. Now this is my smaller size. This is the 10.5. Now this might be a little bit too small for my foot. I do have the size 11 on the other side with me. So let's go ahead and pop this thing open. Boom. Now I know a lot of people already know this ain't really your cup of tea. This ain't your thing. This ain't what you do. You don't like the vintage. I don't like the yellow. I don't like this on it, blah 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 blah. But me, I'm here for it. Now there is one star of the show on this shoe. Yeah, this looks like a very old vintage sneaker, but let's say a Balenciaga, let's say a Mason Margiela, somebody, they do it on the shoe, y'all go for it, right? Remember that. Anyway, the starter shoe for me is the materials. If you rock on my channel, y'all know I pride myself in materials, and materials really drive me when I buy a shoe. I wanted to ask you guys a question. How come nobody's talking about the shattered backboard leather on the shoe? I did post that on my channel. I mean my Instagram. How come nobody talking about the shattered backboard like leather on this shoe? Y'all so keen up on the leather. Nobody's talking about this. Well, at least I haven't seen it. Anyway, the star, like I said, is the material. I mean, I'm gonna go as far to say this. So when I see a shoe like this, right, this shoe is more expensive than, let's see, what can I think? I can't really think of anything right now. And the reason I say it's more expensive than a lot of the shoes that come out is simply due to the material. The leather is more than textiles and mesh and things like that, but yet it's a cheaper shoe than, like, say, a Jordan 4 or something like that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that in the video. We're here to talk about this particular sneaker. Now I did see a video or a post of somebody who got these that don't have like the scuff marks and things on it. That's a good and a bad thing. Some people want that, some people do not, so you might got a diamond in the rough. Anyway, these stay true to the OG highs, where you have like the ripped off Nike swoosh, and you know, you got the silver sort of pencil. I don't know if that's for when they're making the shoe, because if you guys don't know, that when they have the shoe, they kind of outline with like a dotted pattern. It's not like this, but it's sort of used with like a silver pen in this fashion. I don't know if that's what that represents or not. You can see the little holes here for where the thread line goes there. Leather is just absolutely magnificent on this shoe. I love this sort of a cream look too. Got a lot of heavy vintage paint on my particular pair. Another thing I do like about the shoe is it's kind of going back to like a OG shape, where you got more of a rounded toe box. Love that. Absolutely phenomenal. Got a lot of vintage paint in my Nike swoosh here, and you also got some sort of vintage hits on the laces as well. I will be going with the cream laces. I think it gives a nice contrast to the shoe. I don't know how I feel about the other laces yet, although I haven't even really tried them in the shoe. Anyway, you got Jordan Biking Company, established 2017. That's when the partnership began with Nike and Nigel Sylvester. So they do come with two different laces. The other lace is in the other shoe. You have this nice sort of a red lace here, and you see Bike Air on the inside. This is a little bit tight on my foot. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because of the I don't know if it's because of the new tooling or the new reshape. They do seem a little bit more narrow and a little bit tighter in the toe area than like the older Jordan 1 lows. I don't know, I could be tripping. Then when you flip this over, you got a actual Nike swoosh here. I don't know if this is 3M. This is sort of an interesting material. This is the only synthetic material on this shoe. Anyway, these look really good. Like I said, I'm not a one for beat up shoes, but I just love this color blocking, and I don't really mind the scuff marks on the shoe. I think it adds a lot of character, and it gets me to actually wear the shoe. Here's a look at the back, or the boot, where you got the Air Jordan and Wings logo, and you got more of that sort of a silver outline there, and then of course you got more of that sort of old vintage paint on the bottom. Let's take a look at the other shoe right quick for quality craftsmanship and construction. And I didn't lace this one up. Here are the black laces that they come with. They come standard with white, and then you got Nigel Sylvester written in this one. I didn't even notice that the other day. And then you got a Bike Air on the other shoe. So let's take a look at this shattered backboard leather that no one's talking about. Look how thick this is. Look at this, just thick. This is what I go for. This is why I go for this type of stuff. Just thick. Look at that, just thick, beautiful cuts of leather just all over the shoe. It smells great, it feels great, it's nice, it's soft to the touch. I mean, it's like buttermilk. Just a beautiful shoe. Anyway, like I said, these are not like the older Jordan 1 lows. You guys can see the shape is just like totally different from the toe cap, just the overall shape of the bottom. The Jordan 1s have been retooled. I don't know about the low. This one is definitely not the older Jordan 1 lows that we used to get. These are incredible. I'm here for it. Like I said, I might go for me a third pair. I probably will have to get rid of these because they are unusually tighter than a 10.5 is normally on my foot. But nonetheless, this has been the review of the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1 low. Y'all get in the comment sections down below and let me know, man, what y'all think about these. Y'all loving this pair of sneakers? I'm absolutely loving these. I'm not really a one for vintage beat up looking sneakers, but this leather it's really taking the cake for me, mostly on the shoe. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about these down below. This is MK the Truth, DODBENT. I love y'all. I'm out.